Ever wondered why people pull away when you want them closer? In this video, I'll share 9 Stoic secrets that will make them chase you again, without you lifting a finger. If you've been feeling ignored or undervalued, you need to watch this because missing out on these simple shifts could keep you stuck in frustration. Stick around and you'll discover the exact strategies that change the game for good. But remember, these secrets aren't about manipulation. They're about rediscovering your own value and mastering self-control. 1. Focus on yourself. Ever wondered why chasing someone never seems to work? What if I told you the key to making them chase you lies in focusing on yourself? It sounds counterintuitive, right? But here's the thing. When you invest in your own growth and inner peace, you naturally become more attractive to others. Today we're going to dive deep into this Stoic principle. At first glance, it might seem like focusing on yourself when you're trying to get someone's attention is counterproductive. After all, isn't the goal to make them notice you? The truth is, people are drawn to those who radiate confidence, independence, and peace. When you chase someone, you give off an energy of neediness, and this pushes them away. But when you focus on your own growth and self-improvement, your aura changes. As Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If your thoughts are constantly centered around someone else, you lose sight of your own value. But when you shift that focus inward, you cultivate an unshakable inner strength." That's the secret sauce. People are naturally attracted to those who are content within themselves. Investing in your growth doesn't mean ignoring the people in your life. It means you prioritize becoming the best version of yourself. This could be anything from developing new skills, adopting healthier habits, or even deepening your emotional intelligence. When you make self-improvement your focus, others can't help but notice. You become someone who isn't just passively waiting for attention, but actively creating a life of meaning. As Epictetus famously put it, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastering yourself, your emotions, your mindset, and your actions makes you stand out. When you aren't chasing, you exude a quiet confidence that intrigues others. They begin to wonder, what's different about them? And that's when the chase begins. Have you ever noticed that when you stop chasing someone, they start reaching out to you more? It's not magic. It's human nature. People are naturally drawn to what they can't easily have. By focusing on yourself, you're no longer playing the game of pursuit, and that shift in dynamic sparks curiosity in others. They'll start to wonder why you're no longer vying for their attention. In Stoic philosophy, this concept aligns perfectly with the idea of controlling what you can and letting go of what you can't. As Epictetus said, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." You cannot control other people's reactions or feelings, but you can control how you present yourself to the world. And by focusing on yourself, you're taking control of the one thing that truly matters: your own actions. Stoicism teaches us that true power comes from within, not from external validation. When you seek approval from others, you're essentially handing them the reins to your self-worth. But when you cultivate inner strength, you stop relying on others for your sense of value. Instead, you realize that your worth comes from who you are, not who notices you. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, captured this beautifully when he said, "He who is brave is free." When you are brave enough to focus on yourself and your own growth, you free yourself from the need to chase anyone else. And that freedom? It's incredibly attractive. So, what exactly do you gain by focusing on yourself? First, you gain clarity. By stepping away from the noise of chasing others, you start to see what truly matters to you, what you want, what you need, and who aligns with your values. Second, you become more confident. The more you invest in yourself, the more you realize how capable and worthy you are, and that confidence radiates outward. And lastly, you become magnetic. People are naturally drawn to those who don't seek validation from others but instead create their own path. As the Stoics taught, self-command is the greatest command. When you embody this principle, you'll find that people are no longer something you need to chase. They start chasing you. When you grow, evolve, and cultivate your inner peace, you become the person who others want to be around. The chase will naturally follow, but the most important thing is that you've become someone worth chasing. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." 2. Detach from the outcome. Ever wondered why the harder you hold on to something, the faster it slips away? What if I told you that by letting go, you could actually get closer to what you want? That's the paradox of detaching from the outcome, especially in relationships. Today, we're going to dive into the Stoic philosophy of releasing control over others and accepting what you can't change. At first, it might seem confusing. If you want someone to come back into your life, why should you detach from that desire? Shouldn't you be actively trying to make things work? The truth is, the more you focus on controlling something outside of yourself, like someone's feelings or actions, the more you lose control over your own emotional state. As Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In other words, you can't control how others behave or feel, but you can control your reaction to it. And that's where the power lies. Detaching from the outcome means letting go of the need to make things happen in a certain way. Instead of obsessing over getting someone to return, you focus on maintaining your own peace. Here's the kicker. By letting go of your attachment to a specific outcome, you actually become more attractive to others. Why? Because detachment creates a sense of calm and confidence. People are drawn to those who don't need their validation. The more you try to hold on or force a situation, the more tense and desperate you become, and that energy repels others. As Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you realize that the only thing you can truly control is your mind and actions, you release the pressure of trying to manipulate external outcomes. You stop chasing, and in that stillness, people are drawn toward you naturally. The Stoics were all about focusing on what you can control and accepting what you can't. This doesn't mean giving up or not caring. It means finding freedom in the knowledge that you don't need to control every aspect of your life to be at peace. By accepting that you can't force someone to return or feel a certain way, you free yourself from anxiety and frustration. Epictetus's famous quote, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not," perfectly encapsulates this idea. When you recognize that the outcome of a relationship isn't within your control, you can shift your focus to the things that are, like your personal growth, your reactions, and your ability to stay centered no matter what happens. When you detach from the outcome, you're not giving up on the possibility of someone coming back into your life. You're giving up the emotional weight that comes with needing them to. This is where true freedom lies. You stop waiting for others to validate your worth, and you begin to live on your own terms. And ironically, when you stop waiting, they often start chasing. Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, said it best, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable." When you master the art of detachment, you become unconquerable by external circumstances. You're no longer tied to the idea that someone else holds the key to your happiness or self-worth. This emotional resilience is deeply attractive. So how do you detach from the outcome in practical terms? It starts by shifting your focus from what's happening out there to what's happening within you. Instead of worrying about what someone else is doing, spend time improving yourself. Dive into your passions, work on your goals, and nurture your relationships with friends and family. The more fulfilled you are, the less dependent you become on a specific outcome with someone else. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When your thoughts are focused on your own growth and peace, your life begins to reflect that. You'll find that detaching from the outcome not only makes you more attractive, but also helps you live a more balanced, fulfilling life. Acceptance is a core principle of Stoicism, and it's a key part of detachment. Accepting the situation as it is doesn't mean you don't want things to change. It simply means you're at peace with whatever happens. This peace creates a magnetic energy. When you're no longer desperate for a certain outcome, others sense your strength and independence, and they're naturally drawn toward it. As Epictetus said, "To wish that what happens does not happen is to wish for something that is impossible." Instead of fighting against reality, embrace it. By accepting the present moment and detaching from the need for a particular outcome, you create the conditions for others to come back on their own. Detaching from the outcome isn't about giving up. It's about giving yourself the freedom to live without being controlled by external forces. When you let go of the need for someone to return, you release the tension that pushes them away. You become more centered, more confident, and ultimately, more attractive. Remember the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius. Receive without pride, let go without attachment. When you master this Stoic principle, you'll find that people will start chasing you, not because you need them to, but because your inner peace has made you someone worth chasing. Practice emotional control. Have you ever noticed how emotions can hijack your mind and lead to actions you later regret? What if I told you that by mastering your emotions, you could not only regain control over your life, but also become someone others are drawn to? In moments of stress, frustration, or anger, it's easy to let emotions cloud our judgment. We often react impulsively, only to realize later that we acted irrationally. This can damage relationships, opportunities, and even our own self-esteem. The Stoics believe that emotional control is the key to mastering not only ourselves but also the dynamics we have with others. As the famous Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Emotional control is the essence of self-mastery. When you learn to keep your emotions in check, you're no longer a prisoner to external circumstances or other people's actions. This calm, measured approach to life naturally intrigues those around you, as they'll wonder how you manage to stay composed in situations that would send most people spiraling. When emotions take over, our ability to think clearly and make rational decisions becomes compromised. Have you ever lashed out at someone in anger, only to regret it moments later? That's because in the heat of the moment, your emotional brain overrides your rational mind. This can lead to unnecessary conflict and push others away. The Stoics understood the power of emotions but believed in responding rather than reacting. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic emperors, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By realizing that we cannot control the actions or emotions of others, but we can control how we respond, we take the first step toward emotional freedom. The key to practicing emotional control is to shift from reaction to response. Reacting is instinctual. It happens automatically when we let emotions lead the way. Responding, on the other hand, requires mindfulness. It means taking a moment to pause, evaluate the situation, and choose a calm, rational course of action. Imagine this. Someone says something hurtful to you, and instead of reacting in anger, you take a deep breath and respond calmly. You don't let their words dictate your mood. This level of emotional control shows tremendous strength, and it immediately sets you apart from others. The person who expects you to react in anger is left confused and intrigued by your composure. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you respond calmly, instead of letting emotions drive you, you maintain control over the situation and over yourself. This emotional control signals to others that you are grounded and self-assured, qualities that naturally draw people toward you. People are drawn to those who exude calmness and control, especially in challenging situations. Emotional control is rare in a world where reacting impulsively is common. When you practice emotional restraint, you stand out. Your calmness becomes a source of intrigue. Others may wonder how you remain composed when everything seems to be falling apart, and that curiosity makes them want to be closer to you. The Stoics believed that true power comes from within. As Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." When you are brave enough to master your emotions, you free yourself from the chaos of the outside world. Instead of being tossed around by every emotional wave, you become an island of stability. This self-mastery is incredibly attractive because it signals strength, maturity, and independence, traits that others admire and want to be around. So how do you begin practicing emotional control in your daily life? It starts with mindfulness. When you feel an emotion rising, whether it's anger, frustration, or anxiety, pause before reacting. Take a deep breath, assess the situation, and ask yourself, is this response going to serve me in the long run? More often than not, a measured response will lead to better outcomes. Marcus Aurelius encouraged self-reflection when he wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." By consistently choosing calm, rational thoughts over emotional outbursts, you condition your mind to default to calmness in challenging situations. Over time, this practice of emotional control becomes second nature, and others will begin to notice the change in your demeanor. Mastering your emotions not only helps you personally, but it also improves your relationships. When you react emotionally, it often leads to conflict and misunderstanding. But when you approach situations with emotional control, you open the door to healthier, more productive conversations. People feel more comfortable around you because they know you won't overreact or escalate situations unnecessarily. This calmness can be especially powerful in romantic relationships or friendships. When you consistently show that you are in control of your emotions, others will trust and respect you more. And paradoxically, the less emotionally reactive you are, the more people will be drawn to you. They'll appreciate your stability and find themselves wanting to be closer to someone who doesn't let their emotions control them. By practicing emotional control, you not only regain power over your own life, but you also become someone who intrigues and attracts others. People are naturally drawn to those who maintain calmness in the face of adversity because emotional control is a sign of strength and maturity. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." When you focus on mastering your emotions and responding with calmness, you're not just practicing Stoicism, you're becoming the kind of person others admire and want to be around. So take control of your emotions and watch how the world responds. Build your own life. What if I told you that the secret to making people want to be a part of your life isn't about chasing them, but about building your own life so fully that they can't help but be drawn to you? We're going to explore the Stoic philosophy of creating a life of purpose and meaning. When life feels uncertain, it's easy to become fixated on wanting others to validate your worth or make you feel whole. But the Stoics believed that true strength and fulfillment come from within, not from external sources. They taught that building a life centered around purpose, growth, and self-reliance is the key to finding both inner peace and external success. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Instead of worrying about what others think of you, focus on the quality of your own life. By dedicating yourself to your personal journey, you cultivate a sense of purpose that radiates outward, attracting others to your energy and your story. The Stoics believe that life should be driven by purpose and meaning. Instead of chasing superficial goals or temporary pleasures, they focused on the things that truly mattered: wisdom, virtue, and self-improvement. When you build your life around meaningful pursuits, you tap into a deeper sense of fulfillment, one that isn't dependent on anyone else's approval. Seneca, another prominent Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of self-sufficiency. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Instead of craving attention or validation from others, focus on building a life that is rich in purpose. When you live with intention and meaning, you create a foundation that is solid and unshakable. This inner stability naturally draws others toward you, because people are attracted to those who know where they're going and who are fulfilled by their own journey. One of the reasons people are drawn to those who are fully immersed in their own lives is because of the confidence that comes from self-reliance. When you no longer need external validation to feel worthy or successful, you exude an energy that others find irresistible. This self-assurance is magnetic because it shows that you are content on your own and that your happiness isn't dependent on anyone else. As Epictetus wisely observed, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. When you live a life that is centered on your own goals and desires, not on what others can give you, you free yourself from the need to chase after people. Instead, you become the person that others want to chase. They see that you are thriving, and they want to be a part of that energy. So how do you begin building a life that is centered around purpose and meaning? It starts with focusing on what truly matters to you. What are your goals, passions, and dreams? What steps can you take to move closer to the life you want to live? By dedicating yourself to your own growth and well-being, you naturally create a life that is fulfilling in itself. Marcus Aurelius encouraged self-reflection in his famous work Meditations, where he wrote, "Do every act of your life as though it were the last act of your life." This means living with intention, making choices that align with your values, and staying committed to your journey. When you invest in your own development, whether through learning, work, or personal relationships, you build a life that is rich in purpose and meaning. One of the most fascinating things about building your own life is that people are naturally attracted to those who are focused on their own journey. When you're fully engaged in your own growth, you radiate a magnetic energy that others can't help but notice. You become someone they want to be around, not because you're chasing them, but because you're thriving without them. The Stoics believe that when you live a life of purpose, you don't need to rely on external sources of happiness. This independence is incredibly appealing. People are drawn to those who don't need them for validation, but who are instead focused on living a meaningful, fulfilling life. As Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." When you are clear about who you want to become and take the necessary steps to live that life, you naturally attract people who want to be part of your journey. You're no longer seeking approval. You're living with intention, and others will want to be part of that story. When you build your own life, something amazing happens. Your relationships improve. Why? Because you're no longer approaching relationships from a place of neediness or desperation. Instead, you're approaching them from a place of abundance. You're fulfilled in your own right, and that fulfillment allows you to give more to others without expecting anything in return. Seneca's wisdom shines through here. Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. When you start living fully each day, focusing on your own goals and purpose, you become a more complete version of yourself. And that version of you is someone others will want to be around. Not because you're chasing them, but because you're living with a sense of direction and purpose. When you focus on living with purpose and meaning, you create a magnetic energy that draws others toward you. You no longer need to chase anyone because you're thriving on your own, and that self-assurance is what makes you truly attractive. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." When you cultivate a life centered on your own journey, you unlock a level of confidence and fulfillment that others can't help but notice. So build your own life, and watch as people are drawn to you, not because you need them, but because you're thriving without them. Show gratitude. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have a magnetic energy that draws others in effortlessly? What if I told you that the secret to becoming that kind of person is rooted in gratitude? We're exploring how showing gratitude for what you have, right now, can change not only your mindset, but also how others are drawn to you. Gratitude lies at the heart of Stoic teachings. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus understood that true contentment comes not from acquiring more, but from appreciating what we already have. In today's fast-paced world, where everyone seems to be chasing the next big thing, whether it's wealth, recognition, or relationships, gratitude brings us back to the present moment. It reminds us to be content with the abundance already in our lives. And this mindset shift not only fosters inner peace but also naturally attracts others. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and one of Stoicism's most prominent figures, wrote in his Meditations, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." This simple practice of starting each day with gratitude sets the tone for a life of abundance and fulfillment. When you focus on what you have, rather than what you lack, you radiate a sense of peace and warmth that others can feel. It's easy to get caught up in a mindset of scarcity, constantly feeling like you don't have enough or that you need more to be happy. This mentality leads to stress, dissatisfaction, and even a sense of envy. But gratitude changes everything. When you shift your perspective to focus on what you do have, you start to see the world differently. Instead of feeling like you're missing out, you realize that your life is already full of blessings. Seneca, another key Stoic philosopher, emphasized this when he said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." The more you appreciate the present moment, the less you worry about what's coming next or what you might lack. Gratitude grounds you in the now, giving you the clarity to see just how abundant your life truly is. This shift in perspective not only transforms your own life, but also impacts how others perceive you. When you live in a state of gratitude, you exude contentment. Others are naturally drawn to this energy because it's rare to find someone who isn't constantly chasing more. Your sense of peace becomes magnetic and people want to be around you because you remind them of what truly matters. Gratitude isn't just a practice that benefits you internally. It has a profound impact on your relationships. When you show appreciation for the people in your life, they feel valued. This simple act of acknowledging others' contributions makes them feel seen and appreciated, which naturally strengthens your connection with them. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher known for his teachings on self-discipline and inner freedom, once said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." In relationships, this means focusing on the good in others rather than their flaws. When you show gratitude for what someone brings into your life, instead of focusing on what they don't, you create an atmosphere of mutual appreciation and respect. This mindset also reduces conflict. Gratitude helps you see the positive in situations where you might otherwise feel frustrated or disappointed. Instead of holding on to resentment, you learn to let go and appreciate what's going well. This approach not only strengthens your personal relationships but also makes you more approachable and likable in all areas of life. People are naturally drawn to those who focus on the good, rather than dwelling on the negative. The practice of gratitude doesn't just affect how you interact with others, it's also a powerful tool for personal growth. When you take time to reflect on the good in your life, you cultivate a mindset of abundance. This attitude can fuel your motivation and help you stay focused on your goals. Instead of feeling like you're constantly falling short, you start to see every achievement, no matter how small, as a step forward. Marcus Aurelius captured this beautifully when he wrote, "Do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave for them if they were not yours." This Stoic wisdom reminds us that the things we often take for granted, our health, our loved ones, our opportunities, are things we would desperately want if they were taken away. By practicing gratitude, we keep our minds focused on the present and appreciate the richness of life as it is. One of the most remarkable things about gratitude is that it changes the way others perceive you. When you live in a state of thankfulness, you exude a positive energy that others can't help but notice. This isn't just about being polite or saying thank you more often. It's about embodying a mindset of abundance. People can sense when you're genuinely content with your life, and they're naturally drawn to that. In a world where many people are constantly seeking more, whether it's more success, more money, or more attention, gratitude sets you apart. You become someone who is grounded, present, and at peace with what they have. This kind of energy is magnetic. Others will want to be around you, not because you're chasing them, but because you radiate a sense of fulfillment and peace. Gratitude is a simple practice, but it requires consistency. Here are a few practical ways to incorporate it into your daily life. Start your day with gratitude. Before you even get out of bed, take a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for. It could be something as simple as a good night's sleep, or the fact that you have a roof over your head. Keep a gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you're thankful for every day. This helps train your mind to focus on the positive aspects of your life. Express gratitude to others. Take time to acknowledge the people in your life and the contributions they make. Whether it's a friend, family member, or coworker, a simple "thank you" can go a long way in strengthening your relationships. Practice mindfulness. When you find yourself feeling frustrated or overwhelmed, take a step back and remind yourself of the things that are going well. Shifting your focus from stress to gratitude can change your entire outlook. Gratitude is more than just a feel-good practice. It's a Stoic principle that can change the way you see the world and how others see you. By focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, you cultivate a mindset of abundance, contentment, and peace. As Marcus Aurelius and the Stoics taught, true happiness comes from appreciating the present moment and the blessings within it. When you live with gratitude, you not only improve your own mental and emotional well-being, but you also create a magnetic energy that draws others toward you. 6. Be mysterious. What if I told you that saying less could actually make people want to know you more? There's power in holding back, in not revealing everything about yourself right away. We're diving into the Stoic wisdom behind mystery, how keeping a little distance and practicing restraint in words and actions can make you more attractive and intriguing. In a world that encourages constant self-expression and sharing, the idea of holding back can feel counterintuitive. But the Stoics knew something that modern society often forgets. There is strength in silence. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, and one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." This includes the need to be constantly understood or validated by others. Stoicism teaches us that we don't need to explain ourselves to everyone. Instead, we should be selective in how we share our thoughts, emotions, and experiences. By doing so, we maintain a sense of inner power and autonomy. When you don't reveal everything about yourself all at once, you create an aura of mystery that draws people in. Humans are naturally curious, and when they sense that there's more to you than meets the eye, they'll be eager to learn more. There's something inherently attractive about the unknown. People tend to value what they don't fully understand because it triggers their curiosity. In relationships, this means that the less you reveal, the more others want to figure you out. This doesn't mean playing mind games or being dishonest. It's about keeping a part of yourself reserved, allowing others to gradually discover who you are. The Stoics were masters of this kind of restraint. Seneca, another prominent Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of moderation in all things. He said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." This is key to understanding the allure of mystery. When you're not completely transparent, people's imaginations fill in the gaps. They wonder what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what drives you. In their mind, you become more complex and intriguing. In today's digital age, where oversharing is common, practicing restraint can be refreshing. Social media has made it easy for people to broadcast every detail of their lives, but this constant sharing often leads to a loss of intrigue. When everything is out in the open, there's no room for curiosity. On the other hand, when you choose to keep some aspects of your life private, you stand out in a world that often lacks discretion. This doesn't mean you should withhold important information or avoid meaningful connections. It's about finding balance. As Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, wisely noted, It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. When you share everything about yourself too quickly, you rob others of the chance to learn about you gradually, on their own terms. Letting them discover you, piece by piece, builds a deeper, more authentic connection over time. So, how do you cultivate this sense of mystery in your life without coming across as cold or distant? It starts with being mindful of how much you share, and when. Here are a few practical Stoic-inspired strategies to help you be more mysterious and intriguing. Be intentional with your words. The Stoics believed that words should be used wisely and with purpose. Instead of speaking just to fill the silence, choose your words carefully. This gives your conversations more weight and makes people pay closer attention when you do speak. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This reflects the Stoic belief that actions speak louder than words. Rather than telling people who you are, show them through your actions. This not only makes you more mysterious, but also more trustworthy. Reveal yourself gradually. You don't have to share everything about your life in one sitting. Let others discover different layers of your personality over time. This keeps them interested and invested in getting to know you on a deeper level. Practice emotional restraint. One of the cornerstones of Stoic philosophy is emotional control. Stoics believed that reacting emotionally to every situation only leads to suffering. Instead, they focused on responding calmly and thoughtfully. By mastering your emotions, you not only gain more control over your life, but also project an air of mystery that others find captivating. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters. When you keep your emotions in check and respond with calmness, you become more unpredictable in the best way. People will wonder how you maintain such poise and self-control, making them more curious about your inner world. Maintain some distance. In both friendships and romantic relationships, it's important to maintain a healthy level of independence. Being too available can diminish your value in others' eyes, while keeping some distance allows them to appreciate your presence more when you're around. People are more likely to chase what they can't always have. While being mysterious can be an effective way to draw people in, it's essential not to take it too far. Stoicism isn't about isolation or emotional detachment. It's about cultivating inner strength and wisdom. The goal is to create meaningful connections with others while maintaining your sense of autonomy and self-control. Seneca once wrote, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." This doesn't mean cutting yourself off from relationships. Rather, it's about choosing to engage with others in a way that enhances both your life and theirs. By practicing mystery, you're not withholding yourself completely. You're simply giving people the space to get to know you gradually and meaningfully. Ultimately, the reason mystery is so effective is that it taps into a fundamental human desire, the need to discover and understand. When people feel like there's more to learn about you, they become invested in figuring out what that is. The more you practice Stoic restraint, the more you allow others to see you as someone who is grounded, composed, and intriguing. This creates a sense of attraction that goes beyond physical appearance or superficial charm. When you keep parts of yourself hidden, you give others something to wonder about, to chase, and to uncover. This deepens their connection to you, making your relationships more meaningful and fulfilling. Being mysterious isn't about playing games or manipulating others. It's about embracing the Stoic value of restraint and allowing people to see you at your best. By saying less, revealing yourself gradually, and practicing emotional control, you create an air of intrigue that draws others to you naturally. As Marcus Aurelius taught, true power comes from within. When you stop feeling the need to explain or reveal everything, you become more confident in who you are. And that confidence, combined with a sense of mystery, is what will make people chase you. Not because you're withholding, but because you're comfortable in your own skin. So start practicing Stoic restraint today, and watch as others become more curious, intrigued, and drawn to the authentic, grounded person you are. 7. Practice kindness. without expectation. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to naturally draw others to them? It's not about wealth, status, or appearance. It's about something deeper: kindness. But there's a catch. This isn't just any kindness. It's kindness given freely, without expecting anything in return. We're exploring how practicing kindness without expectation, a fundamental Stoic principle, can make people chase you not for what you give, but for who you are. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is the idea of living in accordance with virtue. The Stoics believed that the highest good in life is to act morally, no matter the circumstances. This means being kind, generous, and compassionate, even when there's no reward or recognition. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This simple yet profound statement reminds us that true virtue lies in action, not in seeking approval. When you practice kindness without expecting anything in return, you embody this Stoic wisdom. You become a person of substance, someone who stands out because you give freely, not because you're looking for validation. In today's world where so many interactions are transactional, genuine acts of kindness can feel rare. People often do favors or offer help with the hope of receiving something in return, whether it's praise, a favor in return, or social capital. But Stoicism teaches us to rise above this. Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, wrote, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for a kindness." This quote perfectly captures the Stoic mindset. Kindness should be given freely, simply because it is the right thing to do. When you offer kindness without expecting anything in return, people will notice. They'll feel the warmth of your generosity and will be drawn to your energy, not because you've asked for their attention, but because they're naturally attracted to it. When you're kind, without expecting anything in return, you set yourself apart from the crowd. You create an environment where people feel safe and appreciated, knowing that your intentions are pure. This is rare, and it's why people are drawn to those who practice this type of kindness. Think about it. When someone does something kind for you with no ulterior motive, doesn't it make you feel valued? Doesn't it make you want to reciprocate that energy? This is the magnetic power of Stoic kindness. It's not about manipulation or trying to get people to like you. It's about living in alignment with virtue and letting your actions speak for themselves. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who was once a slave, taught that we should give without remembering and receive without forgetting. This quote underscores the importance of giving for the sake of giving. When you approach kindness in this way, you naturally create a sense of reciprocity, where others feel compelled to give back, not because you've asked for it, but because they're inspired by your example. So, how can you bring this Stoic principle into your own life? It starts with shifting your mindset. Instead of viewing kindness as a way to get something in return, start seeing it as an expression of your own values. Here are a few practical ways to practice expectation-free kindness. Be kind in small, everyday moments. The Stoics believed that virtue should be practiced in all aspects of life, not just in grand gestures. Look for opportunities to show kindness in your daily interactions. Whether it's holding the door for someone, offering a kind word, or helping a friend without expecting anything in return, these small acts can have a big impact. As Marcus Aurelius put it, do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. This Stoic principle reminds us to approach each moment with intention and kindness, making every interaction meaningful. Let go of the need for recognition. One of the challenges of practicing expectation-free kindness is letting go of the desire for praise or acknowledgement. It's natural to want to be appreciated, but true Stoic kindness comes from a place of selflessness. When you're kind without needing recognition, you embody the Stoic virtue of humility. Seneca said, "He who does good to another does good also to himself." This quote highlights that the act of kindness is its own reward. When you do good, you're not only helping others, you're also nurturing your own sense of purpose and fulfillment. Don't keep score. One of the key elements of Stoic kindness is not keeping track of what you give. Whether it's time, energy, or resources, give freely without expecting anything in return. This not only makes you more generous, but it also frees you from the burden of resentment or disappointment if others don't reciprocate. Epictetus taught, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This Stoic mindset can be applied to kindness as well. When you give without needing anything in return, you experience a sense of abundance that isn't tied to material possessions or external validation. One of the most powerful aspects of Stoic kindness is that it has a ripple effect. When you practice kindness without expectation, others take notice. They may not immediately acknowledge it, but over time, people will start to see you as someone who radiates positive energy. And that's when the magic happens. People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel good without asking for anything in return. They'll start seeking your company, not because they want something from you, but because they're attracted to the positivity and generosity you exude. This is the essence of Stoic kindness. It's not about getting people to chase you. It's about living in alignment with your values and letting others be drawn to your light. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "What we do now echoes in eternity." Every act of kindness you offer, no matter how small, creates a lasting impact. Whether or not you see immediate results, your kindness leaves an imprint on those around you, creating a ripple effect that can change the world in subtle, profound ways. Practicing kindness without expectation is one of the most powerful ways to live in alignment with Stoic philosophy. It's not about manipulation or trying to get others to chase you. It's about living virtuously and letting your actions speak for themselves. When you give freely, without the need for recognition or reward, you become a person of substance, someone others naturally want to be around. In a world where so much is done with the expectation of something in return, practicing Stoic kindness sets you apart. It makes you someone who radiates positivity, compassion, and generosity. And that, more than anything else, is what will draw people to you. So, take a page from the Stoics and start practicing kindness without expectation. Give freely, live virtuously, and watch as others are drawn to your energy, not because you've asked for it, but because you've inspired them with your example. 8. Set clear boundaries. Have you ever felt like your personal space is being invaded or that your time is being taken for granted? What if I told you that setting clear boundaries could be the key to not only protecting yourself, but also making others chase after you? In a world where self-respect can sometimes feel scarce, the Stoics offer timeless wisdom on the importance of boundaries. We're diving into how understanding your worth and standing firm on your boundaries can transform your relationships and draw people to you. At the core of Stoic philosophy is the belief that self-respect is paramount. The Stoics understood that to live a good life, one must recognize their own value and not allow others to undermine it. As Epictetus wisely stated, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This perspective shifts the focus from external events to internal strength, urging us to take control of our lives through self-respect and personal boundaries. Setting clear boundaries is an act of self-respect. It's about acknowledging your needs and ensuring that others honor them. When you have clear boundaries, you not only protect your mental and emotional well-being, but also signal to others that you value yourself. This self-assertion can make you incredibly attractive to those around you. Why are boundaries so essential in relationships? Think of boundaries as the rules of engagement in any interaction. They define what behaviors are acceptable and what behaviors are not. When you set boundaries, you're essentially saying, "This is who I am, and this is how I expect to be treated." This clarity can help eliminate confusion and resentment in relationships, creating a healthier dynamic. Marcus Aurelius put it best when he said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By asserting your boundaries, you take control of your interactions with others. You stop allowing external factors to dictate your emotional state and instead focus on what you can control: your reactions and your self-worth. When you establish boundaries, people are naturally drawn to your confidence. They sense that you are someone who knows their worth and will not accept less. This self-assurance can be magnetic, making others want to be around you. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to effortlessly attract attention and admiration? It often comes down to their ability to set and maintain boundaries. When you respect yourself enough to establish clear limits, it sends a powerful message to others. I am worthy of respect. This confidence is incredibly appealing. Seneca, another prominent Stoic philosopher, said, "No man is free who is not a master of himself." Setting boundaries is a form of self-mastery. It demonstrates that you understand your values and will not compromise them for anyone. People are often drawn to those who have a strong sense of self because it provides a sense of security. They feel safe knowing that you won't let them walk all over you. Now that we understand the importance of boundaries, how can you set and maintain them effectively? Here are some practical steps. Know your values. The first step in setting boundaries is understanding what's important to you. Take some time to reflect on your values, needs, and what you're willing to tolerate. This self-awareness will serve as a foundation for your boundaries. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." If you prioritize your values and beliefs, you'll naturally create boundaries that protect them. Communicate clearly. Once you've identified your boundaries, communicate them assertively and clearly. It's essential to express your needs openly, so others understand where you stand. You don't have to be confrontational. Simply state your boundaries with confidence. Epictetus reminds us that wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This applies to boundaries as well. When you articulate your needs and desires, you're not being demanding. You're clarifying what you value. Be consistent. Setting boundaries is one thing, but maintaining them is another. Be prepared to enforce your boundaries consistently. If someone crosses a line, calmly remind them of your boundaries and the importance of respecting them. Remember the words of Seneca, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable." By holding firm to your boundaries, you demonstrate your strength and self-respect, making it clear that you will not accept behavior that undermines your values. Incorporating the Stoic principle of setting clear boundaries into your life can be transformative. By knowing your worth, communicating your needs, and maintaining your limits, you create an aura of confidence that others will find irresistible. 9. Live with purpose. Have you ever felt lost or directionless, wondering how to ignite passion in your life? What if I told you that living with purpose is not just about personal fulfillment, but also an incredibly attractive quality that can draw others to you? In the realm of Stoicism, finding meaning in your life is not merely an option. It's a vital ingredient for a fulfilling existence. We'll explore how a life lived with purpose can enhance your relationships and make you irresistibly magnetic to those around you. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies the idea that our existence should be guided by a higher purpose. The Stoics believed that true happiness comes from aligning our actions with our values and contributing to something greater than ourselves. As the philosopher Marcus Aurelius stated, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This quote encapsulates the essence of Stoicism, reminding us that purpose starts from within. Living with purpose isn't just about having lofty goals. It's about understanding why you do what you do. When you embrace your purpose, you tap into a wellspring of motivation and passion that radiates outward, making you more attractive to others. People are instinctively drawn to those who have a clear sense of direction, as it suggests confidence and determination. Have you ever noticed how some people naturally attract attention and admiration? It often boils down to their sense of purpose. When you're on a mission, whether it's personal growth, helping others, or pursuing a creative passion, it creates an aura of energy around you. Others want to be part of that journey. Seneca, another key figure in Stoic philosophy, noted, It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. This perspective reminds us that true richness comes from our contributions and the meaning we derive from our lives. When you live with purpose, you signal to others that you have something worthwhile to offer, making you more appealing. When you live with purpose, it creates a positive ripple effect in your relationships. Others will notice your passion and commitment, and they may feel inspired to pursue their own goals. This shared energy fosters deeper connections and can lead to more fulfilling interactions. Moreover, living with purpose often involves helping others. When you engage in acts of kindness or contribute to a cause, you not only enrich your life, but also create a sense of community. As Marcus Aurelius noted, we are all part of one great mind. This interconnectedness reinforces the idea that your purpose can have a profound impact on those around you. While the journey toward finding and living your purpose can be incredibly rewarding, it may also come with challenges. You might encounter doubts, setbacks, or moments of uncertainty. It's essential to remember that these experiences are part of the process. The Stoics teach us that we cannot control external events, but we can control our responses. Embrace challenges as opportunities to grow and learn. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This mindset shift can help you navigate obstacles with resilience and maintain your commitment to your purpose. Incorporating the Stoic principle of living with purpose into your life can be transformative. By aligning your actions with your values and pursuing meaningful goals, you create an aura of energy that attracts others. Remember the words of Seneca: "The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately." Embrace the present moment and take steps toward your purpose, and you'll find that not only will you lead a more fulfilling life, but you will also draw others to you who want to share in your journey. Living with purpose is a powerful way to create connections and foster relationships built on mutual respect and shared values. So, step into your purpose and watch as the world responds to your magnetic energy. Your journey awaits. These 9 secrets are not tricks. They're truths. They're about becoming a person of substance, grounded in the wisdom of Stoicism. When you live these principles, they'll chase you, not because you asked, but because you've become someone worth chasing.